Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jackie Speier. I'm the Congresswoman from this district. And at a time when we see gridlock in Washington, this is a good news story. This is a story about John Brenan, one of the soldiers of the greatest generation who served in World War II.
Thank you.
I'm holding this press conference to recognize his bravery, his perseverance, and to prove that wrongs can be righted. John and his brother Howard served in World War II. Howard died in 2002. His brother Howard actually fought at the Battle of the Bulge and at D-Day, received 2 Purple Hearts and 1 Bronze Star, and died in 2002. John, who has won me over with his beautiful smile and his absolute sense of what is right and what is good, is now 90 years of age. And back in 2009, he had applied for benefits because he had been diagnosed with colon cancer. And from 2009 until 2014, he had to fight again, not just in World War II, but with his own country to get the benefits that he deserved. Now, thanks to the good work of my top-notch staff, Richard Steffen, Mark Nagalis, and everyone else here in the office, he didn't take no for an answer, because he had been denied his claim over and over again. Errors were made over and over again. But because we persevered, because we read the law and conveyed the law to Veterans Administration, we got some good news in the middle of January. John Brenan is known as an atomic vet because he was put into a position after we had bombed Hiroshima to go in and to assess the situation after the bombing. There's a picture of him at Hiroshima that shows him drinking water, probably contaminated water, that is directly responsible for him contracting colon cancer. Now, the law requires that if in fact you were there in 1945 and you subsequently get colon cancer, it is presumed that it is a result of your exposure in 1945. But for whatever reasons, the VA first said it was rectal cancer when in fact it was colon cancer. And then after that was clarified, they still hadn't read the law clearly enough to appreciate that there is a presumption if you were exposed to it in 1945. So, because of the intervention of our office, John Brenan now, and I might add his persevering daughter, Jill Pell.
Worked 4 years on this thing before.
John Brenan was received a letter earlier in January that increased his disability rating from 0% to 100%. So with us today are 2 other veterans that we have helped, veterans who also were being wronged by the system, and we stepped forward and helped to right the situation. And I want to introduce them to you. John Nenning is a Purple Heart Vietnam veteran, right over here. And Ari Sonnenberg had multiple tours in Iraq. They're here to lend their support to John. And so you see here Americans who have fought for their country in 3 wars, all of whom were great Americans to protect our country, all of whom were in fact told that they weren't deserving of disability claims. And yet, when we interceded, they were in fact granted those benefits. Now, let me also point out that when I got into this issue of the Veterans Administration backlog, it was back 2 years ago in March. I went to Oakland. I sat down with the director. I, in fact, brought Ari's wife to meet with the director because they had so misinterpreted his records that they were unwilling to give him benefits, even though he was, at that time, sitting in a hospital awaiting care. So, over the last 2 years, we have had a laser focus on this issue to address the backlog of the claims. And there is good news to report. In March of 2012, there were 34,000 claims backlogged. Today, that number is 12,000 claims. So, much improvement, but much more improvement is necessary. Now, why is this necessary? Well, it's necessary for some very obvious reasons. Men and women who serve in the military, who see some of the most heinous things that can occur in humankind, who are there defending our country and our freedom, come home with all kinds of problems, physical and emotional. And our Veterans Administration must be there to help them rebuild their lives. 22 veterans commit suicide every day. One active duty member of the military commits suicide almost every day. Oftentimes, they are on our streets and in our homeless shelters for a variety of reasons. There should never be a homeless vet in this country. There should never be a vet who has a disability not receiving the benefits that they have earned. So, this is what makes my job great. It's being able to help people like this, particularly a World War II vet at the age of 90.
My good friend, you.
Who deserves our respect and admiration. So I'd now like to, I would like to turn it over to Jill Pell to say a few words. Why don't you come over here so you can grab the microphone.
I can't thank you enough, and I can't thank Richard enough. For 4 years, we sent emails back and forth. We argued, not argued together, but we argued about what the problem was each step of the way and the delays. And every time there was a delay, Jackie and Richard would come to our aid. And I truly believe I may have given up if it hadn't been for them. It was very frustrating. I felt very alone, but not with them. I felt, keep going. You can do it. And I have to tell veterans out there, don't give up. You can do it. You just have to persevere through it. It may take some time, but the effort is sure well worth it to present these men who have fought for our country to finally get the benefits they deserve and the acknowledgement they deserve. So I treasure my dad, and I treasure all veterans. And I just hope that something really great can come out of this, because I don't want to see any other family spend 4 years of their lives fighting tooth and nail for benefits that should have been forthcoming. I'm sorry to get so emotional, but it's been a long, arduous fight.
She's worked her really
thank you
hard
so
before Jackie,
much.
but they denied her.
I appreciate everything you
Frustrating.
do. Even for the little animals, everything you do. You're just wonderful. Thank you.
Well, the good news is that through the good work, Mark Nagalis and Richard Steffen, over the last 2 years, we have been able to return to veterans $4 million in unpaid benefits. And that's what government is all about. It's about fixing what is wrong in the system. And we're on our way to making sure the VA system is first rate again. And that's our goal, and that will be what will come of this within the next couple of years. There will no longer be a backlog, and veterans will be able to access the services they need and the disability money that they deserve in a timely fashion. So, John,
you so
would you like to say a few words? Oh, wait, can you stand up? I bet. All right, let's have you stand up and I'll hold on to you. How's that?
It's a little, I'm not very good at speaking, but I just want to say how wonderful Jackie and her group have been to us. And I want to also say how wonderful the VA hospital has been to me. They are the greatest hospital in the world. And they've done a lot for me and taken care of me, keeping me alive. And I just want to thank all of you for coming and to say hello to me. I appreciate it very much. And I want to give my daughter a lot of effort for helping me all these years. I'm sorry to be emotional, but it's been hard on me all these years without the benefits now that Jackie has got me. And I want to thank you an awful lot, Jackie, and I hope it helps a lot of the other soldiers too, because that's what we want. Both Jill and I want to see that the other soldiers get something too out of this. And they all deserve it. And I just want to thank you all for coming today to wish me well.
All right, let's get you seated.